I meet lots of interesting people who I want to help, and the best way for me to give back is to quickly share who they're helping professionally and who they wish they could privately or philanthropically help more. And I help you by keeping the interview short and sweet. People in my circle can pick and choose who to directly and indirectly help with their business or charitable contributions. Who are you helping? Don't forget to subscribe or follow me on YouTube and TikTok so they start paying me to do more content like this. Let's get started. Hey, how's it going? I'm Dan Fredenberg, and this is for Who Are You Helping? Today I'm joined with Pete Romano. How you doing today, Pete?
Hey, Dan, it's really awesome to be here.
Awesome, awesome. And if you want to get up to speed here, you may know me from dandoesdeals.com and the Chance Encounters because I'm always talking to commercial real estate syndicators, investors, buyers, and sellers, and all that kind of stuff. If that's you, make sure that we get connected because I always like to get our relationship documented for 506B compliance in case that is something that's important. But sometimes people show up in my circle and I'm not sure if there's some overlap between our businesses, or at least I want to give some exposure to syndicators, presumably like you, and that way you can figure out how they fit into your business. But before we get too excited with that, Pete, do you want to say a few things about yourself?
Hey, Dan, well, thanks again for having me on your show. It's awesome, and it's really been great to get to know you and what you do for people. What I do for folks is I really have a place in my heart for the hardworking sales professionals that you also assist. These people that are grinding it out, smiling and dialing every day, trying to make a living. The people our superpower is to give them the tools that they need to be as successful as possible from a marketing perspective, from a technology perspective. We want to empower those people so that they're getting the biggest bang for their buck when they show up to work and grind out another 100 cold calls.
All right, beautiful. I love it. And so, really, at the end of the day, you've put together a CRM with all sorts of really great integrations as far as telephone, text blasting, all that kind of stuff. And one thing that's exciting, why we've had several meetings to try and figure out how we can get that CRM as the primary one for funnel fixing and the different resources that I do.
Yeah.
But the first question I always have in these "Who are you helping" interviews is who do you help professionally? And to unwrap that a little bit, I know that Pete has a lot of marketing background, so he gets this part really well. But every once in a while, I'll find somebody who will struggle to explain who they help professionally. And in marketing, they call that messaging. It's how do you say what you do in a way that's very exciting and enticing. And some people, I have to really spell it out and say, hey, well, there's somebody out there who pays you on a fairly regular basis, and they're only going to do that if they've got a good reason. What is it that you're doing in return for that? So
Sure.
Pete, you can take that any way you want, like maybe an avatar or something. We're talking about getting more real estate people in the real estate business
Right.
and whatnot. But who do you help professionally?
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head is that we got our start as a sales organization, as a B2B, B2C type of sales organization. So we know what it's like for people to want to be entrepreneurial, who want to be independent, who don't want to work for somebody else. And they get into that with big, wide open eyes. And I'm hardworking. I'm going to make it successful. I'm going to become big. I'm going to start making a lot of money. But the thing that we see is that there's an unbelievable amount of gaps. Like if you're going into real estate, you go to real estate school, they teach you everything about being a realtor, but you don't learn any of the marketing, you don't learn any of the technology, you don't learn how to go out and network. And that's where we really come in. We say, great, you're really good at doing this skill set, but let us come in and back you up. Let's show you how to put 4 to 5 qualified leads on your calendar every single day. Let's show you how to never let somebody fall through the cracks and not get back to somebody. Let's figure out how to get you 50 connection requests, 50 new connections on LinkedIn every single day. Qualified leads delivered to your door, and then automatic follow-up after that. That's our superpower.
I love it. I love it. And, since I've been in commercial syndication for years now, one thing I keep on running into is people who call themselves old school. Maybe they're using like a spiral notebook. Maybe they're using an Excel
Right.
sheet. But you're going to hit a hard limit as far as how much you can get accomplished if that's what you're doing, and that's why this is really exciting. But my next question that I always do after we do the who do you help professionally, it's everybody has somebody out there they wish they could help more. Now, maybe it's professional, maybe it's philanthropic. Some people I've seen on this show, we've had some people who I like to jokingly call them overachievers. They've got orphanages around the world, and that's absolutely amazing. But some people, I think a lot of people would like to do things like that. But some people who I interview, they've never really had the financial opportunity to spend enough time with their family. And I think that that's absolutely a great reason for your hustle. But the reason why it's so important to find out who my guest wants to help more is because I'm from the internet. And everywhere I live, people are saying shop local, support your local economy. And that's all well and good. But it hit me, how can you figure out more about the professional that you're talking to and make sure that you're really doing the best in the world by allocating your professional dollars to this professional? And the way that I figured that out is figuring out who's the secondary benefactor of choosing a professional. So, Pete, as far as you go, who do you wish you could help more?
Well, that's a great question. We all get into this realizing that there's a problem to solve and figuring out, well, hey, I could make money trying to solve that problem. And so the problem that I'm trying to solve is that small business owners or independent entrepreneurs, there's only a couple of small knowledge gaps. I was very fortunate to have really good mentors. And having a really good, there's no alternative for having a good mentor, somebody that could just show you, one step ahead of almost like in the piano book, like they're one page ahead, they're 2 pages ahead in the music book, and they're going to show you how they did this. They're going to show you how I did that. And I'm not talking about coaches necessarily. I'm talking about people who are still performing in their industry, who take you under their wing and show you, Pete, don't do something like that. Do it like this. And so realizing that there's only little knowledge gaps and little changes in how you think about things is what motivates me. And so I want to continue to help those people that are unbelievably motivated, and they're getting up every single day and they're hustling, like you said, but they're not having enough time with their family. They're not having enough time with their spouse. They want to have more time with their kids. And if they could just realign a few things about how they think about what their business really is, then they're going to achieve what they're looking for. And that's who I'm looking for, is those people who want to realign a few thoughts and see exponential growth.
I absolutely love that. It's CRMs make such a huge difference. Even if your
Yeah.
business is just a lemonade stand, people will automatically just try and seek out people. Maybe they'll use social media, but the problem is if they use social media, they don't own their list. So if they
Right.
get hacked, they get booted off the platform for whatever, maybe they drop an F-bomb or something. But it's so important to have that email list so that even if you get in that kind of trouble, you can
Right.
still contact with everybody in your list. But my next question then is it's for how people in the audience can help you, Pete. So imagine that it's the genie coming out of the lamp, or if you prefer, maybe sitting on Santa's lap. How can people in the audience help you?
Well, everybody needs more leads. Everybody's looking for growth and opportunity. And so if you know any of the people that I've described, I'm sure wherever this video is going to be posted, there is going to be a link to our LinkedIn. Just make an introduction. If you know somebody that's in syndication that's trying to throw events, if you know somebody who's trying to get publicity, if you know somebody who's starting their business and they want to start it right, just have them contact us through LinkedIn, have them contact us through the website. That's segwick.com, segwyk.com. And just let's just start that conversation with these folks, because we know that if we just empower the right people, then a rising tide will raise all ships here. I think I got that idiom correct.
Yeah. You got it. You got it. You recovered it. So the next thing was how to reach out to help in the ways that you mentioned. Me personally, I'm really easy to find on LinkedIn as well because I got that distinct last name. You already mentioned LinkedIn and the website. So as far as reaching out goes, like what's your preferred method then?
Just find us on LinkedIn. If you know Dan and if you're friends with Dan, then you're going to be friends with us. And any friend of Dan is a friend of Segwick and a friend of Pete. So we want to talk to you. We want to help you guys out. We want to give you guys the tools that you need. And so yeah, don't be a stranger.
I love it. I love it. And that's who Pete helps. That's who he wishes he could help more. That's how you could help him and how to reach out. But my last question for you, Pete, and this is a surprise one. Did you know that if the people in the audience hit the hideous red subscribe button, that helps me? Did you know that?
Oh, wow. Cool. So we're talking YouTube subscribers, right?
Oh, for sure. And
Ooh,
the best
right.
the best thing as far as I'm concerned is it costs you absolutely nothing. You just have to hit that ugly button. And all it means is that my videos might show up on your list of suggestions. Of course, I also might get into a situation where YouTube pays for these videos instead of me, which would be
Right.
absolutely
Well,
amazing. But you can go ahead and ignore those suggestions when my videos show up there. I just appreciate the fact that you spent this time with me. Just like Pete, I appreciate you joining me today. This has been great getting to
let's
know you a little bit better.
let's pause for a moment and just wait because there's a person here that didn't click subscribe and we know who you are. So just wait. Okay. They clicked it.
Much better. That's great. Thanks a lot for joining today, Pete. This has been great.
Thanks, Dan.
Awesome.
I just want to tell you, because I've actually seen your website, Real Estate is a Scam, before, and I loved it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, because I think it's really so spot on. There's good stuff, bad stuff in every industry.
Yeah, make sure you subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell. For Dan the Man.
And thank you. Turn that subscribe button from red like his beard to gray like his beard will be.
So I met Dan through some networking groups for real estate investing. He's a great guy from what I know about him. He's very ambitious and he makes it easy to come on with his questions and has a great setup. It's easy, it's clear, concise, and I'd recommend going on his interviews for anyone that's considering it.
It was unlike anything I've ever experienced. It was super fun. The process was so easy a caveman can do it. I mean, if you guys haven't done it yet, you guys need to get on his calendar. Just take 15 minutes of your time, get exposure, find out who Dan is, what he's about. He's a true trifecta. And if you don't know who he is, get in touch with him. Google his name, find him on LinkedIn, do whatever you can. Just reach out to him.
So I really appreciate the format. Like I've told you a couple times before, I think it's really great because me personally, I'm very long-winded. I have to purposefully make things more concise, but the way I take things in is I definitely prefer things to be concise and straight to the point and concentrated. And the chance encounters really do that great for individuals. So you can get a good grasp on who they are, what do they do, why do they do it, what space do they operate in. That's why I love chance encounters.